So I have contemplated suicide not once, not twice, but 3 times. Quite frankly, I'm taking a look at the time that we're in. I can't help but to lament, as well as give a position, as well as opinion with regards to all these issues. Let's talk about the idea of being in despair and perhaps being isolated, feeling like no one is there for you, no one can hear you, no one can listen to you. As men, at times, some of the things we go through, yes, can't be expressed verbally. At times our emotions run deep, and perhaps it's then expressed physically through some of the most unwanted of means. However, I do want to circle back the issue to the mind. The man's mind is quite vital with regards to making decisions, applying himself, ensuring that his surroundings are safe, his surroundings are secure. And at the very same time, I can't go without saying that as a man, we should take care of our mental health. This is an unspoken topic, and if there's anything I relate, based on what I said at the beginning, that at times we feel like we're giving up, at times we feel like we should give up, at times we even think the resort is perhaps suicide. But there is a voice within us. There's an impetus that should be propelled and perhaps push us forward to make the right decision, to speak out about some of the things we're going through, and to ensure that we have the right positioning. More money, more problems, right? As they always say. If I would put things on a scale, in my experience of people, it's also very, very, very important to note that some of these individuals on the street doing their thing, free spirits, as you may call them, some of the individuals I've met who obviously are in a better financial capacity are experiencing some of these massive problems. Some even going through with a suicide. Some even contemplating it more than the everyday Joe. And it then becomes an issue now of also being able to be stable. Confidence, I would like to say, is not having money in your pocket. Confidence is not being able to dress, look, think, speak well. Confidence is being at ease within your own skin. And if one is going to be observant of that particular position, I think regardless of whether money will come or it will go, one will be in a position to be confident about whatever it is that life will throw at them. I would like to say Zimbabwe has been a place built for the tougher, thicker skin. Zimbabwe is in a place where if you can't make a plan, you won't make it. It's not your proverbial country to go through with the textbook way of living life. And obviously it does an outright, in fact a direct, impact with regards to the man himself and his mental health, in the sense that you are then put in a position where sometimes you make sacrifices, sometimes you make tough decisions, or sometimes you actually do face adversity and you make it out, and those lessons you then learn. And I think Zimbabwe is a learning curve. For the man, it's quite right to say that everything that we experience will ultimately build us. I don't think anything is there to denigrate us. Nothing thrown at us in life is ever meant to destroy us. Unless it's a fire. I don't know. It's quite crazy because, sometimes you think the chips are down. Maybe this is financially, physically, emotionally. I was in a place where I think all areas of my life were affected. My career was affected. My journey was affected. My finances outrightly were affected. My relationships were crumbling. And I would love to believe that at your lowest is when you think more. At your lowest is where you pray more. At your lowest is where you meditate more. Ultimately, you even work out more. Just trying to get your mind off something. You read more. I trust the process. And I guess that process wasn't meant to break me. Like I rightly said, it was meant to build me. If I'm going to think back and, try and create the trajectory of how it then happened for me to get back, I can only praise God. I can only thank God for the prayers that I even thrust upon myself and those who are around me. But at the same time, also allowing my space and my head to be clear as to who I want to be and where I want to go. So I do hope that to anyone who's listening or watching, they do have an appreciation of self-awareness first. I think that's always where we circle back as men. Who do I want to become? What do I want to become? How am I going to get there? And if you're going to allow yourself to get to a certain stage or point without any external factors influencing you, you will ultimately get there regardless. A friend of mine once said, it can never get any worse than this. So allow it to get better. Allow it. Give it its space. You know what you're going through, yes, you appreciate what you're going through, but give yourself the space to get better. They always say there's a silver lining, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. All those proverbs come back to me in the sense that one can believe, even if you don't believe in God, one can believe that at the end of the day will always end. And guess what? There will be a dawn of a new day. And that means a new opportunity, that means a new chance, that means a new leaf of life that is being released to you, for you. Eric Thomas always says that if you want to make a difference, you make a decision. He's a motivational speaker I follow very astutely. So quite frankly, making a decision to perhaps change, making a decision to perhaps start with the small habits, making a decision to perhaps choose new habits, making a decision to perhaps have a different outlook and mindset and opinion can go a long way with starting and getting yourself out of the hole that is trouble, out of the hole that is suicide, out of the hole that is debt, out of the hole that is problems and overthinking. Because a lot of the things cause us to overthink. And trust me, we do a lot of it as men. Some of the thinking is in good faith, but some of it in bad faith. However, there's always a way, and where there's a will, there is a way. Yeah, so the positive outcomes, quite, if I could draw back and, think, I would put myself in a position where I learned. And I could also appreciate that through that learning, there's a lot of mistakes I won't repeat. There's a lot of places I won't go to. There's a lot of people I won't communicate with. Like I said, if you want to make a difference, you make a decision. So there's a lot of different themes that I would apply to this life thing. And obviously allow me to positively impact myself and positively impact others. I did grow. I became more disciplined. I grew to have more integrity. I grew to be a lot more spiritual. Applying all those factors, just those three alone in my life, has allowed me to take a lot of steps forward with regards to everything that's around me and everything that I do. So look at it this way. There's obviously the message around being a bravado and alpha male. I would like to believe that, expressing masculinity has nothing to do with expressing yourself. Masculinity can be expressed in several ways, different ways, but expressing yourself and giving out a message has everything to do with being a real man. We were born to be heard. We're lucky to be heard. And let's use that opportunity to be heard. It's quite important for each and every man to communicate. 3 words. I always say this on radio. How are you? Are you okay? Those 3 words can spark up a whole conversation some of you won't be ready for. All right, let's take a look at everything that has been transpiring, and of course, an appreciation of the time we're in, the time of the man. Men, the simple messages, whether it's a gym, a support group, or even just a simple drink at the clubhouse. Let's have the right quality conversation. And please note, it is about the quality. It is about you being able to speak rightly about the things that are deep down in your heart. Surface level conversations, let's leave that in the first half of the year. Let's get deep. Let's get real. Let's protect our mind. Let's protect our mental health. How do we do that? Let's talk, gentlemen. If you're going to allow yourself to be vulnerable, if you're going to allow yourself to be open, if you're going to allow yourself to be candid about simply the things that you are facing, it'll go a long way in enhancing your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. Thank you very much. My name is Curtly Windy.